be in the frame?
No.
It's like in the whole frame the entire time.
Oh.
Wait, you...
We didn't know.
It was there.
That's fine.
It's alright. It's alright.
That's fine. It's fun. It's COVID time.
I guess I'll restart this.
Sponsored by Kingz.
What's up, guys? Young Kingz podcast. Happy Sunday. And today is going to be a little quick episode of Hot Take Thursday.
Okay.
That makes sense. That was a hot take.
Alright.
Let's start it off already. But we hope you guys enjoy it. If you do, leave a like. If you don't like it, still leave a like. If you don't like us, subscribe. If you like us, subscribe. But let's just get it rolling.
Sounds good.
Let us know what you guys think about these hot takes after, too. Put it in the comments, because we're pretty interested.
Mine is in terms of fantasy
Okay.
and the NFL. And you can kind of bounce off of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I said Jared Goff is going to finish the year as a top 5 quarterback.
Top 5.
And the Rams are going to win the division.
That's hot. That's hot. I'll be honest, that's hot.
Hey, pretty interesting. Alright, I mean, like 2 years ago, they were in the Super Bowl.
Okay.
That's just one argument.
The Rams were in the Super Bowl.
The Rams were in the Super Bowl.
Jared Goff kind of,
Hey, but in terms of Jared Goff, all right, last year he was tied for the number 1 in the league with Jameis Winston for passing attempts with 626.
Jameis Winston. He was also number 1 in something else, though.
He was number 1 in interceptions, but Jared Goff, basically was at the top of the league in pass attempts. He also ranked top 5 in the NFL for completions per game.
Okay.
And, he threw 8 less touchdowns than his career average as a starter.
He's probably the 4th best fantasy quarterback just in his division.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. So let's say he's going to be the 5th in the league,
I think he could be top 5 overall just based on volume. 626 pass attempts. I don't expect that to come down a lot. But in terms of positive regression, in averaging, I think in his career starts, other than this year, he averaged 30 touchdowns in his other 2 or 3 starting years. And last year he had 22. So I think in terms of positive regression, he should have at least 25 to 27, and I think he could easily exceed 30. His previous year, he had 32 touchdowns.
We got these stats lined up.
And 28 touchdowns the year before that. So I just feel like... And in 2018, 2019, wasn't he a top 5 quarterback? That's why I think he could easily get back to it. Plus, I think they also find their way, in the second half of the season with the 2 tight end sets. And now that they don't have Brandon Cooks and Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, Tyler Higbee, Gerald Everett, I feel like they're starting to figure out that offense a little more.
Who do you have as the top 4?
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. He's not in my top 5 rankings. But I think he could finish the team. So the top 2, obviously Lamar and Patrick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dak, I still think is going to be in the top 5.
Interesting.
The other 2 I have ranked in the top 5 are Kyler and Deshaun. But I think Goff could easily have a better year. Not easily, but have a better year than Deshaun and Kyler.
I'll just jump into mine then. I'm going to stick to the same division, and I'm going to say the Arizona Cardinals are going to win the division. And it might, they got the San Francisco 49ers. That's a beast. The Seattle Seahawks, they're just monsters. I don't know about beast, and
just monsters.
The Rams, with the top 5 quarterback, Jared Goff. But I think all those games in that division, it's always close. Even the Niners games that they lost, I think they only lost by 10 points in one and 3 in another or something. It's a pretty close game.
It's closer than you think it is.
And now they got DeAndre Hopkins, and I think another year in the offense should benefit Murray, the receivers, Kenyon Drake. Their defense is not bad still. They got pieces at least. And they got a good linebacker, Justin Simmons, now too, which I'm excited for. But
his name's Justin.
I think Isaiah.
Isaiah Simmons. Who's Justin Simmons?
Yeah, I was going to say.
The Broncos safety.
He's pretty good too, though.
How do you feel about Hopkins in that offense?
I don't know if it's going to work, but I got to think, if Hopkins was able to just do the numbers he was doing with quarterbacks like Tom Savage, even in a new offense, he's going to find his way. Larry Fitzgerald did pretty good in that offense still.
Mm-hmm.
And DeAndre Hopkins is pretty similar to Larry Fitzgerald in terms of like skill set.
Yeah, not really separation.
Yeah, but good routes, good hands,
Gotcha.
move the sticks.
I think they figured their offense out for sure.
I think they do and they
Defense?
don't. We've seen games where they just kind of just wet the bed.
But I mean, with Hopkins, you know, Kirk is coming off injury, so I feel like having those 3 receivers back will be good.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
Yeah, I was wondering, why do you think the Cardinals and Rams are going to win the division?
I don't think the Rams will. Do you think the Rams are going to win it with
I
Goff? Interesting. I think the Cardinals, like I said, I think they're going to get better, and they get. Not to say that other teams won't get better as well, but I think they showed a lot of promise for such a young team against these like the Niners, the Seahawks. I don't know I don't even think the Rams are going to do that good, and obviously you might disagree, but I think the Rams will be a pretty big bust this year.
I think it's my hot take that the Rams are going to be good.
I can't picture
But,
Jared
like,
Goff getting better.
How are they going to
A lot better
the
at
Se-
least.
how are they going to beat the 49ers and the Seahawks?
I mean,
I think they got worse since last year.
Right.
Their defense got worse, right?
The Rams?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they lost
Cooks, right?
they lost Cooks, they lost their
They
DC.
lost Gurley.
Cooks didn't play most of
They don't
last
have
year.
Gurley anymore. Even if
Yeah.
Gurley wasn't that good, Gurley's still a big focal point for that offense.
That's fair. But I think in terms of last year, it seemed like they were. I just think like towards the end of the year they figured their offense out, and I feel like from
That's tough.
2018, 2019, and then the end of like 2019, 2020, I don't know, because they also led the league in like routes run for running backs
That's
too.
one of my issues with the Rams, though. They always
No, but,
figure it
like-
out a little late.
And, like, how are they going to win, though?
I don't know, man.
They would have been the 7th seed if they had 7 playoff spots.
Mhm.
But the 49ers were the one or the 2.
Because they were 13-3. The Rams were 9-7.
Yeah.
What were the
Seahawks? They made the
11 and
playoffs.
5.
They would have been the one
The
if they
one,
beat
yeah,
the Seahawks.
yeah.
Or if they
Yeah.
beat the 49ers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still think there's a lot of hope for that offense. The defense, I mean, they still have Jalen, they still got Aaron Donald, you know? Like, they have good pieces. I don't know if it's, like, a really good collective defense, but...
Well, I think just 49ers and the Seahawks are making it.
Mm-hmm.
The Saints and the Bucks are probably going to both make it,
Mm-hmm.
which leaves 3 spots, and there's still 2 division winners. So they're going to have to be better. Some good teams. Like Green Bay, I don't know if they're going to make it. They were like 8-1 in 1-score games last year.
Not a
Yeah.
huge
So either them or the Vikings are probably going to make it.
Uh-huh.
And then...
Unless you think like the Bears or the Lions.
I don't know about that.
That should have been my hot take.
Yeah.
Mitch Trubisky,
Oh,
top
no
5.
way. Get out of here. I wouldn't even want you on this table if you said that. Mitch Trubisky's not even a top 5 quarterback on his team. They maybe got 3 guys on the roster.
I don't think any team is going to top 11 win or get below 6.
Really?
I think like
You don't think
the
Jacksonville...
Ravens,
You don't
they're
think-
projected for some
you don't-
people to go like
the
19-0,
Redskins?
and you don't think like
I
they
think
could
it's
go
mostly
11.
because of COVID. I
Interesting.
think teams are going to obviously get it,
Mhm.
and so they're going to lose key players, which will create more parity in the league.
Mhm.
And also because, like, rookies, I don't think they're going to be able to contribute much this year.
Mhm.
And, like, free agent signings and, like, traded players.
Mhm.
That's
'Cause there's no off season for them to practice.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I think it'll take just a long time.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting.
So, like, the bad teams, they're still going to be bad, but because the good teams won't
They're
be
gonna look
as
better
good.
than they are.
Yeah.
It's all relative, and all their players, players are getting sick on every team. If the best player on the football team is the wide receiver,
Yeah.
Terry McLaurin, right, and he gets sick, like that's
But I mean, like,
they're gonna look,
but the bad teams already have bad players. So if the good teams lose good players, then they'll be worse.
I get that.
The bad teams will just stay bad.
Yeah.
I guess
That's tough.
I still feel like it might not look that
Like-
different
like,
though.
it
You
just
know?
in my
If
head, like,
Washington loses a good player, how much worse are they going to be versus if, like, the Ravens lose?
But I
a
feel like that's
lineman?
relative, like, let's say the Ravens lose. Who's their best guy? Hollywood?
Offense is
say they like
maybe
lose Lamar.
Well, not
besides
Lamar. I feel like
Probably-
that's a huge like you lose
Probably one of their.
Probably
gotta be
Ronnie
the-
Stanley.
Ronnie Stan. Okay, that's a
their
big
line.
loss
Yeah. But see, the Redskins, like, they don't even have a guy like that to lose.
anymore. But yeah, but if they lose their best offensive player, I get
I
they
think
might
it's just like the gap
still look
between
bad.
starters and second string is smaller on the bad teams.
But like, let's say the Ravens were gonna beat them 40-0, you know, like they were just gonna smack them around if they played with full rosters. They both lose a good player, and even if they only win like 35-0, I don't think it looks any different to me.
I didn't really mean like if those teams play each other every week, kind.
Right.
It's more like say the Lions play like the Falcons.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Falcons probably have better players, but like if they lose somebody good,
I get that.
it would be really close.
I get that.
That's fair.
And so if that happens,
They're
across
closer
the league,
together. I feel.
Yeah.
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 I don't think you can use the Ravens. Really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Ravens to Washington.
But if
is
they
different.
lose Lamar,
So it's more the middle tier
I think
than like
as
the
in-
top end and the bottom end.
Well, last
Or I
year
guess
was
it's
a
just how
huge
close the gap is, right? Like if the Ravens to like
Well, I think I see what you mean.
A
As in,
decent
like,
team.
what's a middle like?
let's say
tier?
like Ravens to even like Cowboys or something, and the Ravens lose key players. Dallas has a chance.
Cowboys
Yeah.
could easily win that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I get that a little.
And then say if another Cowboys lose a player, and then a team a little lower than them, like I don't know, the Eagles or something like that. Like
I think David Johnson is going to lead the league in rushing, as well as maybe be the number one fantasy back as well. That's saying against McCaffrey, Barkley, and Kamara. And I say that because Carlos Hyde did pretty darn good on the Texans, and now David Johnson's there. And I gotta believe David Johnson is like worlds of talent better than Carlos Hyde at this point.
I think it's tough for me to say it's a hot take because I have him ranked pretty high.
Well, never mind, bitch. Bye-bye.
In terms of ADP, like I feel like he's going way behind everyone. But I think he could easily finish in the top 5.
Okay.
So I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that.
I mean, it's not.
I think no hot take is out of
Yeah.
the realm,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, like
It's a pretty hot take, though.
like I could still say Mitch Trubisky will be the best quarter. He'll be the MVP this year, and it's not out of the realm.
Like, what are the odds, like percentage-wise? Like, the number 1 fantasy player or the number 1 running back in the NFL, like, repeats as the number 1? It's not that
It's
high.
like almost zero.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I
But-
feel like...
But they're probably still like top 10.
Mhm.
Whereas like Dave Johnson, he must
way
rank
out.
like, is he even in the top 20?
In terms of performance last year, no. But in terms of rankings right now, he's probably close to the 15 range, I'd say.
I don't know if like that system would allow him to though. Like I don't know if they're gonna run it enough.
That's fair. And they don't necessarily pass to the running back.
Yeah. So I think they're building a vertical offense.
Yeah, but I think that leaves a lot of room for him, no?
He could, but like I don't know, to lead the league in rushing, you need more than just a little bit of room.
I don't know about leading the league in rushing, but I
That's
think
my
he
thing.
could finish as the number 1 running back.
I mean, it's possible.
Uh-huh.
I think he would need a lot of catches, like close to 100.
I think he's gonna get a good shot at that though. Without DeAndre Hopkins there, he might very well be their best receiver now.
Yeah, he could be.
Like, that team has, like, a lot of vacated targets.
I think he's lost it though.
He might have lost it. That's why I feel like it's kind of hot because like there's a good chance he just doesn't have it anymore. And he was kind of like a 1-2 year
He got
wonder.
beat out by Kenyon Drake
Yeah.
and Chase Edmonds.
I like that guy, Kenyon Drake, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just feel like... I don't know about rushing yards, because that team would I don't know if that team's going to run, like, that much.
I think if you want to keep Deshaun Watson off the turf, though.
Yeah, I agree with that argument though.
Yeah.
Especially with this offseason too. Like you're gonna want to run.
Yeah.
So why don't you start us off with the hot take you got for the NBA?
Yeah. You might call me a homer.
Sounds like a Celtics kind of
It
thing
is.
right now.
Tatum's the Finals MVP.
Wow.
I don't disagree.
Wow.
Interesting.
I think if you look at the way the playoffs are set up right now, it makes a lot of sense.
I guess this isn't that hot then. But I just figured just the Celtics or the Bucks are going to make it out of the East. I don't think the 76ers have enough shooters to hang. The Raptors don't have a star.
Well, the 76ers don't even have Ben Simmons anymore, right?
He's out.
Yeah.
I don't consider the 76ers a threat to anyone, honestly. Not without Ben Simmons.
I thought about adding the Heat in that conversation, but I don't know if they can get out of the East.
I don't mind with the Heat, though. My hot take for the Miami Heat. You know, I believe they're going to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. And I don't think that's that hot.
Yeah, I could see that.
What?
I agree with that take as well.
So you think it's going to be like a Miami-Boston series?
So I could honestly see Celtics Heat. My Western Conference one is that OKC will make it to the Western Conference Finals.
That's the same thing I have.
Oh, really? The reason I have OKC going is because, well, they played the Houston Rockets in the first round, and they're expected to not have Russell Westbrook for a few games.
That's what, that changes a lot for them.
I was looking at some of their stats, and they ranked 7th in the NBA in defensive rating.
That's what I mean. Like, PJ Tucker is your center on Houston, and Steven Adams is a solid center.
Yeah.
You know?
They also rank top 10 in the league in bench scoring, too, between Dennis Schroeder, and the guys they have. And they got Allen. What's his name? Robinson? Andre. They got Andre Robinson back. Roberson. Yeah, my fault.
That guy ain't got it, though. I ain't scared of Andre Roberson coming off the bench. I ain't looking like, whoa, he's checking in right now.
Yeah. So I just feel like, in terms of their talent, it's not there, really. Like, they're not a super talented team. But the way they play is, like, pretty awesome,
Yeah, Chris Paul, man, he really righted the ship with that.
Yeah, and in terms of the Lakers, like, they just beat the Lakers by 19 points, And the Lakers go OKC, man. I like their team. I don't like Chris Paul. Guy's washed.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap.
Nah, just kidding.
You might have to wear this, man. Washed, he said.
He's good. He's been proving me wrong this whole season, but yeah, I think they have a shot. Depends who comes out of that other side of the Western Conference, But like I could see them.
So what's the bracket though? Do they have to play the Lakers most likely?
So they'll probably end up playing the Lakers in the second round. That's what I think.
That's gonna be a problem.
And I think the other side is gonna be Clippers. Nuggets. So I don't know if they'll beat the Clippers because the Clippers also rank like
obviously
top
the
3 in
Lakers
defense,
though have an unbelievable amount of talent, but they don't play that well as a team. Like honestly, if you're relying now on Dion Waiters and J.R. Smith to carry your bench load, that's pretty hot and cold.
So I think that's why like OKC beat them recently. Like didn't they shoot like just under 40% from the field in that game? Like I feel like that could pretty fairly happen. Yeah. What do you think about that? I guess we're on the same page.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of hot takes, like that's definitely one that could happen.
Yeah. Okay.
Like I can see it.
I guess we'll wrap it up with that then. So leave a like, subscribe, and if you guys want to see us talk about anything else, also comment that below. But thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have a good Sunday or Thursday, or I forgot what this hot take Thursday.
Hot take Thursday.
Happy Sunday. Let's go.
Peace.